Sage Creek, Southland Park, our housing prices started to fall in your neighborhood. We're going to go over all the data so you will have all the information and you don't have to follow along what's going on in the media and reading their headlines. Yeah, let's first off go over what has sold, how many houses have been listed in the area. If we go into the Sage Creek Southland Park, there were 98 houses that were listed from January 1 to the end of June. Um, Out of those, as of today's date, June 11th, 2022, 14 are still active. 69 homes that were sold. One is pending sale currently. There are 21 that are voluntary withdrawn and 10 that have expired. And that's very common when you have a lot of new builds and stuff like that. You can have stuff withdrawn and relisted and things like that. So not unusual there at all with those type of numbers. Now the average square footage was 1,920 square feet with an average list price of 690,000. Average sold price of 679,000, and then the sold to list ratio at 105.6%. Meaning the home sold on average of 5.6% over list. And you say, well, that doesn't make sense with the list price at 690 and sold price is actually lower than that. And again, that's going to get into the fact where there's some new builds and stuff on there that's on the market that haven't sold yet and things like that, and it can affect the sold price. But things are selling on average over days on market of 26, which is higher than the norm in the city. And again, new builds are what are going to throw that off. So let's take a look at some of the numbers here of what things have been selling for. So if we take a look at over the past 5 years, 2017, 480,000 was the average selling price. Then 18 and went to 487, then dropped a little bit in 2019 at 479. Then we saw a jump in 2020 going up to 519, then 593 and 680 in the first part of the year. We saw January, February, some record numbers going out. There was really a lack of inventory. We were sitting less than a month's worth of inventory, which is an extreme seller's market. A seller's market is anywhere 1 to 4 months of inventory. Balance is 4 to 6 months, and 6 months beyond of inventory beyond is a buyer's market. We are currently sitting at 1.39 months of inventory in Winnipeg. That's up from 1.19 last month. Last month in May and then June were the first 2 months that we've seen month of inventory going up. Month of inventory went up, but prices still went up in May to a record high of 450,000 was the average, 456,000 average selling price in Winnipeg. June it actually pulled back to 425 being the average, and we're going to see this number pull back here too as well, closer to that probably finish off closer to that $600,000 range. By the end of the year, things that are going to affect the interest rate going up, that's putting a little bit of pause. I'm seeing that on buyers, and let's talk about that. We've gotten used to a 1.5% interest rate, so now that we're sitting closer to 5%, everybody's panicking. But if you take a look at 5 years ago, that's a great interest rate. Also, if you take a look at the numbers of homes being sold, the media is reporting that the sales of housing prices down by this large amount. Yes, they are down from 2021 numbers, but that was 2021 wasn't the norm. It was a record high year. If we go back to pre-pandemic numbers, 2018, 2019, even the beginning of 2020, and look at the sales numbers, our numbers are higher than that still right now for selling numbers. So we're going to be okay with that. Inflation is going up. It's affecting things. The only way for a person to hedge inflation is buy real estate. So people are going to say, oh, well, what has my house gone down by? And they're going to panic about that. What does it matter if you're not selling your house? The only time you win or you lose in the sale of your house is the time when you're selling it. If you're keeping it and not moving, it doesn't matter. If you're selling right now and you need to sell, or you're selling and moving up, if prices pull back by a certain percentage, that just helps you out more. Let's say housing prices pull back 10% and you were going from a $400,000 house to a $600,000 house. Well, if they pulled back 10%, that's $60,000. That $600,000 is going to be selling for less. Meanwhile, you got $40,000 less for your house. You gained $20,000. So Lots of questions out there, lots of chaos, confusion. What questions do you have? If you have any questions, put them down in the chat below, or reach out to us. We'd be happy to answer them. And if you're thinking of listing your home, let's go over all the data. You can make an informed, educated decision. If you're a buyer, you need some tips, we can help you out with that. And if you're looking to list your house, we'd love to list your house and go over all of the information so you can be informed, know what's going on in the market, and then make it a stress-free transaction. Thanks for watching. Tune in next week. We'll be doing our weekly reports again, and then at the end of the month, we'll do a monthly report. Then when our third quarter is up, we'll do that. And the end of the year, we'll also do an end of the year. In the meanwhile, we'll be doing weekly reports. And any real estate related questions, just reach out to us. We love having real estate related conversations. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a fantastic day.